Two is that unlike in the past, there are now many vested interests in China. One of the changes, the challenges that I would also add is the regionalism. You know, in the past, whatever Mao said went. No discussions, right? Now, whatever Beijing says, whatever the president says, may go or may not go. Why? Because the power, the levers of power, including economic power, has moved from the center to the provinces and cities. So regionalism, I mean that these provinces and cities have become vested interests. For example, Beijing wants to curb corruption, environmental pollution, right? So they want to stop the pollutant factories. They want to close down, for example, steel plants or cement plants which are causing pollution. But tell that to the mayor or the province which have these factories. Well, if you close down their factories, then there'll be a spike in unemployment, right? There'll be a drop in revenues. So those mayors and provinces will be dragging their feet to close down those factories. That's what I mean by regionalism. There are now vested interests that are not always in sync with the central government's plans.
Okay, my last question is about Trump. Do you think he will be a good president? And do you think his presidency will cause some impact on China's relationship with the Philippines?
You know, you probably won't believe this, but I made a bet 4 months ago with my daughter, 25-year-old daughter. I bet that Trump would be nominated and that he would win. So we had two-part bets. I won the $50 a few months ago, and now I am owed $100.
You're the only one I know who bets on Trump.
But let me tell you my bet. My bet was, if Trump wins, I win. But if Trump loses, I also win. Hedging, right? Hedging. No, actually, because I thought that I could sense that he might win. But I'm not so sure that he will be the good choice.
Do you think in some way Trump assembles President Duterte?
I think that is part of what I call a wave of populism that we have seen not just here, but also in the Brexit, in India. Right? Modi was sort of a populist figure who got elected. And part of that is I think, an undercurrent of anti-globalization. Put it very, very simplified way, but a lot of Americans believe that they were losers to globalization. They think that their jobs were lost because of America's open free trade. So immigration became an issue, job creation became an issue, and then there's this anti-Washington, which is similar here, anti-Manila or anti-establishment. I think Trump rode on those sentiments and very smartly capitalized on those to get elected. How will this Trump administration shape up? It's too early to say. I think we will have to look at the first 100 days. On China, I think there is a chance that he would be a bit less harsh on China than Hillary Clinton. Well, typically the Chinese I think they prefer working with Republicans than with the Democrats, because the Democrats always push human rights, and of course China is the punching bag. They think Republicans are more pragmatic, they're more business-driven, and therefore I think they might have a bit easier time with Trump.
The world has changed. Now I just open the floor for questions. I don't want to hold you for such a long time, so we can just begin lunch. So, anyone, if you have any questions, please just identify yourself first.